Hi, everyone. I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. I'm here to share the speaker portion of our Connections Over Coffee gathering of the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Kathryn Yarborough is speaking on How Authentically Vibrant Are You? As a vibrant speaker coach and manifesting clients mentor, Kathryn Yarborough teaches women entrepreneurs how to be engaging, expressive, and impactful speakers who attract clients and grow the business their heart longs for. She is the founder of the Manifesting Clients Academy, an inspirational speaker, and a best-selling author. And you can find Kathryn's link to her website and to her Facebook group at the bottom of the text here. So Kathryn, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. So my friends, as Jenny just said, I'm here to talk about how you can determine how authentically vibrant you are. And before I do that, I think it's important for us to talk about why it even matters. Why be authentically vibrant? If you have an answer to that question, why be authentically vibrant, type it in the chat. In our breakout room, before we did this presentation, Gina spoke about really having a deep acknowledgement of who she is authentically. Wow, I hadn't thought of it that way. And that's a powerful invitation. If that resonates with you, why be more authentically vibrant or authentically vibrant at all? Bessie talked about being more fun because there's a fun side of her that she doesn't always share with us here and On Purpose. Wow, authentically vibrant. And Abigail talked about playing bigger, y'all. And we know if we play bigger, we're going to be seen and heard by more people. Now, we are entrepreneurs. We need to speak about what we do. Would you agree with me that we have to speak about what we do? Okay, great. And would you agree that dynamic, expressive, and engaging speakers are more likely to attract their ideal clients than monotone, unexpressive, and not engaging speakers? Would you agree that the ones who are more dynamic are going to attract their clients? Okay, I'm getting some nods, I'm getting some yeses. So my friends, I call those good speakers authentically vibrant. They are being the fullest expression of themselves when they are really practiced and they are really good and they are really comfortable and they are truly engaging the people in the room. They have let go of any old messages or conditioning that they received. We talked in that group about that good girl conditioning. They've let go of that stuff. So they are showing up fully and really being present with the people, right? We've experienced those kind of speakers. It's fun to be in the room when those kind of speakers take the stage. And when they're being authentically vibrant and they've combined it with good content, it's almost impossible to not pay attention to them. And we want to take a next step with them. But those people who don't have good content or aren't being authentically vibrant, isn't it easy to pull out the cell phone? Am I the only one? It's either pulled out the cell phone or checked my email while somebody was speaking. I'm not, right? So I want all of us to not have our audience do that. I want all of us to be so authentically vibrant and have such well-crafted presentations that really share our message that matters to us and matters to our ideal clients, that our ideal clients are paying attention. They'll lean in, they'll listen, they'll want to take a next step with you. So authentically vibrant speakers allow life force to flow through them. Their body, their heart, and their mind are all working together. There's a congruency. And likely they are connected to their higher self or divine nature and this great one that we're all part of, so that source energy is flowing. Authentically vibrant speakers, when they speak, the message isn't communicated just with words, but it's also communicated with their face and their facial expressions. It is communicated with gestures. It is communicated with their energy. People feel them, right? Yeah, I'm getting the nods. Thank you for that reflection back. So raise your hand if you want more of that. Want to be more authentically vibrant? Oh, good, good, good. I am so glad. So today in this presentation, I'm going to share 3 factors that affect a woman entrepreneur's ability to be authentically vibrant. I'm going to demonstrate how to use my Authentically Vibrant assessment, which you can get for free. And in fact, right now, I'm going to put the link in the chat so that you can open it up. I don't want you to go fill in the blank right now. I just want you to open it up so that when this meeting is over, you can go over there and download it, because you're going to want to. Well, I would if I were you. I can't tell you what you're going to want. I mean, I guess I could, but anyway, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. All right. And the third thing that I'm going to share with you today is 3 steps that anyone can take to become more authentically vibrant. Here's the truth, y'all. I used to think I was special. I used to think that my expressionness, my ability to be expressive, was unique to me. I thought, wow, I have something. I can go be one of those great speakers because this just comes naturally to me. And then I discovered last December, I had an aha because of something someone said, and I realized I actually wasn't always like this. And because of my experiences when I was younger, I broke free from the childhood conditioning, and therefore I can do this, and it's teachable. Holy camoly, does that excite me? I'm very excited about that. So if you want to be more authentically vibrant, you can be. So that's the good news. All right. So 3 factors that affect us. The first one is, how experienced are you with speaking or speaking up? How comfortable are you with your content? So in anyone, and we've all been there, we've all been newbies. Even though I was always okay in front of the room, I still felt uncomfortable. When we're a little uncomfortable, we are not and cannot be as authentically vibrant as is possible for us. Can anybody relate to that? I think Bessie was talking about that earlier. Yeah, and Libby, thank you. And even now for me, when my content is new, I know that energy doesn't flow as well as when I'm comfortable with what I'm talking about, because I'm familiar with it. So the more we talk about what matters to us, the more we develop presentation material and can use it, the more comfortable we are with those words, the more comfortable we are with speaking them and engaging with people, our vibrancy rises, our authentic vibrancy rises. So that's a piece of that's a factor. But the second thing that I think is bigger, I mean, the first one, we just need experience. The second one is the conditioning that I referred to earlier, that someone said that she was conditioned to be a good girl and she wants to break free from that. So as we were growing up, we developed communication habits based on the conditioning that we experienced in our families and at school and from culture. In some families, the kids were invited to speak up and talk about things. That was not my family, and I don't know many people who had that. I just read about it or heard about those kind of families. I think they develop lawyers in those families. Let's have a debate about this. But in everybody's family is a little different. Now, I have a client now who I was just working with earlier this week, and she's doing my Speak with Your Body program. And in this program, I take people through a process of using different kinds of movement qualities integrated with speaking so that they can reintegrate body, mind, and emotions, and also reclaim the fullest expression of themselves, all the different qualities, because they're there. Now, this particular session, we were working on strong, powerful movements and light movements. So you can hear the difference when we're talking with strength and power. There's a sense of presence with the person. And when we're talking with a light voice, it's useful. And sometimes we want to do that. Every type of voice and every aspect of our expression is helpful depending on the point we want to make. Now, this particular client was really had a habit of being light. Her movements are light. Her voice goes light. It's just she does light really well. But strength and power, oh my goodness. I had to coach her a couple of times to get that sense of strength and power. And here's what she said. She said that she was trained to be timid and know her place. And I'm seeing the nods for those of you who aren't here with us live. I'm sure if I asked each one of you, you could tell me something about the conditioning that you experience. I'm going to share briefly a personal experience of my conditioning because I had an aha this morning and I'm excited about it. So my friend and colleague, Jenny Robertson, who is running this meeting, has heard me say this multiple times. Some of you, Bessie has known me for a long time, might have heard me say this as well. As an entrepreneur, we need to put ourselves out there. We talked about having to speak up. One of the things I've had to face over the years, I've started as an entrepreneur 21 years ago, is the feeling that I'm not wanted. In fact, y'all got a little taste of that at the beginning of this meeting when I said I have a fan. And then anyway, that was a whole other thing. You needed to be here. I have been working on this feeling of woundedness of feeling not wanted for all these years. And I am so much better because if I allow I'm not wanted to run the show, I don't show up. I don't tell people about what I do. I'm going to play small because I don't want to be triggered. And as you know, as y'all know, I've been showing up mostly, but I realized as I was thinking about being the fullest expression of myself, what's my growth edge? I want to show up more fully. I want to get on more podcasts. I want to get on more summits. I want to speak in the world in a bigger way and be authentically vibrant. And I realized this morning that the old feeling of I'm not wanted was still just subtly running the show. So these conditioning things we need to bring awareness to them, because now that I'm even more aware of how that fear of feeling not wanted was stopping me from being bigger and showing up more fully for my business and my clients, it cannot control me in the same way. We get to choose. If we break free from that conditioning, we get to choose how we want to be. As long as it's running the show in the background, the old habits of communication will continue to run. So I want to share with you the third factor that can influence our ability to be authentically vibrant. And that is having the knowledge that you can be more authentically vibrant and the desire to be more authentically vibrant. If you don't have the desire, anything that I'm saying isn't going to make a difference. But if you have a desire, you can take this in, you can work with it. You can go do other programs. You can work with me. You can do other programs. You can do all kinds of things so that you can be more authentically vibrant. So I invite you to consider why it matters to you, if it does, so that you can do the work that needs to happen in order for you to show up as fully as possible and be authentically vibrant. Now, if you want to know how authentically vibrant you are, you can download my assessment and do it. And now I am going to share with you how this assessment works. Oh, very quickly before I do this, the 3 steps you need to do to become more authentically vibrant. 1, connect body, mind, and emotions. 2, reclaim your full expression. I've already mentioned these things. And 3, integrate moving while speaking. While you're doing your preparation, there's this whole process I teach people in the Speak With Your Body program. It's really, really cool. Okay, those are things that you can actually do. Now I want to share with you this authentically vibrant assessment and tell you how it works. Are y'all ready? Okay, good. On page 2, you'll see this little figure. And what happens is you get a score between 0 and 100. On this page, you get up to 50 points. And on the next page, you hear those pages rattle, you get another 50 points. All right, I'm going to explain it all. Then I'm going to give you a demonstration of how I did it and share with you a score that this person got. Okay, you watch yourself on video for 2 minutes. The way I do it best is I watch it 5 different times for each of these categories. I tried to do all of them at once, and I realized that I wasn't able to tune in to these categories. So it could take 10 to 12 minutes for you to do it. The first category is head movements. When you speak in your 2 minutes that you're watching, does your head move? Because as I said, if you're authentically vibrant, movement is flowing through your whole body. So it's going to include your head. All right? Make sense? Thank you. Changes in facial expressions. So on this side, we're marking how many times does this happen. So how many times does your head move? How many times does your face change, the expressions change? On this side, we're putting ticks. So we put ticks, like little dashes. How many times are there head movements that are not useful or incongruent? So they detract from the message. How many times does your face change in a way that detracts from the message or is incongruent? Third category is voice changes in speed, intensity, and expressiveness. And this is, on this side, would be sounds or words that are incongruent. I might track monotone on this side too, but most likely, if it doesn't change, you'll get it over here. Torso movements. You want your torso involved, folks. I see people so much of the time talking like this and their whole torso is really still. Well, what that means is you have a body-mind split, my friends, or body-mind-emotion split. Get your body involved, even on this screen. Get your body involved. We want you to be engaging. If your torso is involved, it means you care about what you're talking about. If you're talking like this, it means that you don't really care as much, and that's what we're getting non-verbally. You don't really care that much. So wake up in your whole being and show up. Do I feel passionate about this? I'm just saying that that's what I'm feeling right now, is this amazing passion. I want y'all to show up. And it doesn't have to be big. It can be subtle. It can be subtle. It doesn't have to be as extravagant as I'm sharing. But if you watch yourself and your torso doesn't move, folks, start breathing and get feeling. Okay, so torso movement. And then the last one is hand gestures. All right. We know in person, we want to be able to see someone using their gestures, not stand behind the podium. But on this screen, we have this much room, y'all. Use it. Most people do gestures like right here. How helpful is that? Right? Okay, I'm glad that y'all are recognizing that this could be helpful for you to understand that. And I am passionate. All right, so you get up to 10 points. Even if you get 15 ticks on this side, you would only get 10 points because each one you only get up to 10 points. Anything on this side, you subtract from here. Sometimes I kind of fudge. It's not always an exact science depending on the person. And you'll see that with this example today. I was like, how do I want to score this? Because it was a little weird. Now on this side, we're looking at more big concept things. Engagement. How much did you engage your listeners by asking questions or getting them involved? All right. It's easy to ask a couple questions, even in 2 minutes. And if you haven't been in practice to do that, I encourage you to just throw out a question here or there, because it gets us feeling like we're part of the experience. The second, and you get up to 10 points for all of these. The second one is authenticity. How real do you come across versus looking or feeling like a performer? And we were talking in the small group. Gina was really, I really appreciate, Gina, your passion about being authentic and how important it is. And because when we're authentic, we touch the people we're talking to. We touch them, and it's so important. Number 3, energy and presence. How aligned is your energy and presence with your words? So as you hear me just speaking about, I really care about this, you can feel my energy and presence rise up. So we want that to be congruent. It doesn't have to be big, but it needs to be aligned. Emotion. How much did what you say create an emotion inside of you as you watched the recording? Was it an emotion that was congruent with the message? Now, hopefully you're feeling something right now. Maybe you're feeling like excitement about the possibility. Maybe you're feeling like, oh my goodness, why can't I be better? I don't know, but I would really like y'all to be feeling excitement about the possibility. Okay, Libby's feeling it. So I'm doing something right. That's great. All right. Last one is message. How aligned is what you said with what really matters to you? Okay, so you get a total of 100 points. Now, let me say this. It is not like in school. It's not that most people get from 70 to 100, from a C to an A. That's not how this works. This is a bell curve. The average people, most of us get 40 to 60. So if you think you should get 95 because, oh, I've been speaking for 50 years or whatever, don't expect that. Only the best speakers on the planet are going to get 90 or higher. I mean, we're talking the best of the best. So the average is 40 to 60. Do not be disappointed if you're 35. It means you got a lot of room for growth. So I am going to share my screen and do this demonstration. Does that work for y'all? Are y'all wanting this? All right. You know what? Let me stop this real quick and say this one thing. We're using a video of someone who spoke at an On Purpose Woman meeting. Her name is Elaine Robinson, and she's coming back on Monday, right? You said Elaine is a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful speaker, and I was actually there for this whole presentation. And if you get a chance to watch her whole presentation, she's got a really great message. We're going to see 2 minutes of it. Then I am going to show you the score that she got so you can understand practically how this works. Does this feel useful to y'all? Okay. All right. So let me set up the share screen again. Share screen. Come over here. Go over here. Can you see Jenny's face? Oops, you know what? I'm always doing this too fast. And let me try this again. Share screen, because I forgot to put the sound on. All right, share screen. Now, you see Jenny's face? The way I do it is I set my alarm for 2 minutes, and that way I know that it's just 2 minutes and I don't have to worry about it. All right, here we go.
Hi, everyone. It is my pleasure to be in this community once again. Jenny, you are just a blessing to just so many people. And the fact that you just love creating opportunities for community just warms my heart. And I know that it is the thing that you've been created to do because you do it so well. So thank you so much. Once again, I am here and appreciate the opportunity to share my thoughts on a book that I am developing. I have been thinking about this topic for probably about 4 or 5 years, and it's one of those things that's just kind of bubbling up and growing and building and developing, like a baby, right? It feels like a baby to me. I remember being at a meeting and thought of the title and this topic, recovering together, and it had nothing to do with where I was. But the more I kept thinking about it, I kept thinking that recovery happens in community. And at that time, I was wearing a neck brace because I had had cervical spine surgery. I'm going to go back and start from the beginning, and then I'll bring you forward a little bit. I do want to give you a little bit of my history. I was born and raised in New York City. I am one of 3 children. My parents are both professionals. My dad he's passed away, but he grew up in Philadelphia, and my mom grew up in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So north meets south. They met in college at Tuskegee and came to New York. And so here's this little Southern girl in this big bad city, and she was doing the best she could. She is a nurse, and today at 87 years old, she still has her active nursing license. Okay, so we love that about her.
Okay. So now, after hearing all of that I shared about what to look for, I bet y'all were noticing some things in her presentation. Yeah. Okay. Here's what I gave her. There was a lot of subtle things that Elaine did, because as you could tell, she was using like this. She was down here, and this was about as much of the screen as she used. She didn't get up here, and she was kind of short in the picture, which I invite you to pay attention to where you are in the screen and how you're using this if you're on Zoom or Facebook Live. That's important. Okay, head movements. She actually moved her head a lot. However, several of her head movements were down. She would look down. So I took off several points and gave her a total of 7 for her head movements, because there was some, she's a lovely speaker. She's comfortable. She's a beautiful person, but it wasn't all, let me engage with you. And that's, I just want to say that was unique to her. Very few people have I seen that behavior. It's fascinating to me as I do these assessments. I get to see people's synchronicity. You know what I'm saying? Idiosyncratic behaviors. And that was for her that day. I don't know if that's the way she always is, but it was happening in that 2 minutes during that presentation. Her facial expression, though it looked like it didn't change very much, actually changed a lot. It was subtle. And that's what I'm talking about. These things are subtle. So she got 10 points for that. Her voice did not change that much. I counted 5 changes, and I took off a point for repeat. Actually, I have two repeats. So we're looking at what doesn't work over here. Repeating, ahs, that sort of thing. But there was a lot of the same thing. She kind of droned a bit. There was not a lot of change. I'm trying to do it. It sounded almost like it was the same throughout almost the whole thing. She could really work on a bit more variety. So she got 3 points for that. Torso movements. She did engage her torso. She got her torso a little bit in there. She got 6 points for that. Hand gestures. She did hand gestures. I got 9 gestures, but there were a lot that were below the screen. But there was a lot of good ones that she did. All right. So I took 2 off because they were they were like right at the edge of the frame, and it's almost distracting to do it there. So she got 7. On this side, she got 33 points. On the second page for engagement, how much did she engage the listeners by asking questions? She got 0. She didn't ask any questions. Authenticity, how real did she come across or feel like a performer? I gave her an 8. She felt a little stilted to me when she spoke about her childhood especially. It was like it was rote rather than real in this moment. Energy and presence, how aligned is her energy and presence with her words? I gave her a 5. So this is a bit subjective because she sometimes felt really engaged with what she was saying, and sometimes she felt a little bit disconnected. Emotion. How much did what you say create an emotion as I watched it? I gave her a 2 because while I felt like, okay, she seems like a nice person, I wasn't feeling anything during those 2 minutes. And in 2 minutes, you can get some feeling across, and you ought to do it in the beginning. That's what I think. And the last one, message. How aligned is what you said with what matters to you? I gave her a 5. Parts of it sounded like it really mattered. So total with 20 on that side, she got a total of a 53. Is that right? Yep, 53. I thought I gave her, yeah, I thought she had more than that. That's interesting. Now, that was the second time I did it, so there is some variation because I wanted to redo it, and I redid it yesterday. The first time I gave her a 61. So this isn't an exact science, but it gives you a sense. Any questions?
It makes me want to go back and look at everything I've ever done on video and kind of be the observer.
Yeah, that would probably be interesting to use, and at least for 2 minutes, do the assessment. I do want to share with y'all one thing while you're thinking of any questions or comments. First of all, Jenny has to leave right at noon. I can stay for a couple minutes, and I'm sorry I took so long with everything, but I do have an offer that you might be interested in. If you want me to do the assessment for you, instead of $297, you can get it for $47 today. So I'm going to put the link in the chat right now, and you can open it up if you want to go there. There's a code. It's OPW for On Purpose Woman, OPW. So if you want me to do it for you, and what it is I watch 2 minutes and we meet for 30 minutes and we talk about it and any goals you have about speaking. Yes.
I'm getting an error code when I click on it.
I'm getting an error code too.
Kathryn, why
says-
don't we stop the live stream and then
Oh, okay.
take questions off of that, okay?
Sure.
Okay, but I want everyone to unmute yourself so we can give Kathryn a round of applause. Or hear it, and you can woohoo and all that kind of stuff. So, Kathryn, thank you so much for that wisdom.
We gotta do it where she can
Your-
see
Your
it, right?
examples were great.
Okay, Kathryn, can you post the link in the OPW
I will do that.
Facebook
Yeah,
group?
we're not leaving the group, we're just leaving the live. And I want to thank everyone who's watching, whether they're watching live or watching the replay. And if you'd like to join us for one of our 11 free Zoom gatherings every month, just go to opwgc.com, or you can also just comment here and I will tell you how to do that. And you can find out all about our community. Thanks again for watching, everyone.
Yes.
Yes. So, Darlene, did you join the community, the On Purpose Woman Global community?
Oh, I clicked on join. It says I'm being reviewed, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get you in there and I'll tag both of you with the link for sure.
Okay.
All right.